Welcome back. You know the movie A Night at the Museum? Well, at our museum it's actually much better. And let's welcome Christine Franklin, who's the marketing officer. She's going to be telling us about the Heritage Day at the museum. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Christine.
Morning.
Evidence of what I was saying before, right here before.
You meant Christine, you know.
You knew that?
Yes.
Oh, there are the people down there, how you knew? There she is. Welcome. So, Heritage Day, when is that and what are we doing?
It's a new initiative that we're having to try to make sure that Barbadians are exposed to some elements of Barbadian heritage, and we're focusing on various themes for each one. So for July, there are actually going to be 2 crop-over Heritage Days, and we're focusing first of all next Wednesday, July the 13th, on pottery and ceramics. So that will be the first theme, and we'll have people who are very skilled in those areas there displaying their work. Work will be for sale, so it'll be a great place to get some items for your home, and they'll also be doing some demonstrations. So it's a wonderful opportunity for both locals and visitors to the island to get a sense of what goes into making these creations. And there are various techniques, so at least you'll have a chance to see some of those. And it's not often that you get that kind of direct exposure to our craft sector. So we're hoping to encourage that on a regular basis. And this is really the beginning of that. And the second Heritage Day, the theme is Eat, Drink, and Be Merry. Which, of course, is perfect for crop-over. So we're looking at local foods and drinks, looking at how people use local produce to create all sorts of dishes, all sorts of innovative wines, natural juices, etc. And there are even some people who have created art related to food, so the range of everybody who is involved in the culinary arts in any way would be there. These are all going to be intimate events. These are not necessarily big events in themselves, but we're just having a few people on each day under each theme as an added attraction for people to come to the museum. We want to make sure that locals definitely know about it and come out. It's totally free, so you can stop in whenever you have a moment. If you're working, you can stop in during your lunch hour. If you're not working, and especially if you have children home with you during the summer, it's a great opportunity to bring them to the museum. And we'll have guided tours on both days as well. So the activities will be flowing from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on
both days?
Yes, both days, on Wednesday the 13th and then Wednesday the 27th of July.
Before we get into them in some more details, how does this tie in with that big announcement a couple of weeks ago about Barbados, about Bridgetown being a heritage site?
Yeah.
Was that part of the planning behind this, or was that just a happy coincidence?
It was a happy coincidence. Yeah. We were, of course, hoping that we would get World Heritage designation, but the idea was always to make the museum and the Garrison area more vibrant and show people that heritage is something that we live every day. It's not just, as you mentioned earlier, it's not just about relics. Right. It's about our experiences, both of our ancestors and of those who are present today. So we want to make that very real for both tourists and locals. And we'll be doing many more activities, both at the museum and in the Garrison historic area in general. And some of those will focus on the history of the Garrison that led to that designation. So this is really the beginning of that process to make the museum a more exciting place, more attractive for locals and visitors to come to, even if they don't specifically have an interest in history and investigating all the various details of our heritage, but to try to capture some of those who might think normally, well, the museum isn't really for them, but to show them that there are some exciting aspects of our heritage, and we're here to showcase that and to introduce you to a lot more than that.
Yeah, bringing it alive.
Yes, definitely.
So tell me more about the Eat, Drink, and Be Merry. How is it going to be set up? I know that you're laughing because, like, anyway. So how is it going to be set up? How will that be presented? Will people have an opportunity to interact and perhaps learn how to make some of these things?
Yes, actually. We want to have every session very interactive so that people benefit more than just coming by and buying something. We want to make sure that the people who are involved in coming up with these dishes have a chance to explain the process to people and to describe, especially for tourists who are not familiar with some of the produce itself, to describe how it moves from, well, even what it's like when it's grown, right through to how it moves to a meal that ends up on your table. So that's definitely going to be a big part of it. And the merry component is going to deal with music. So we will have the sounds of crop over at the museum on that day, and CDs will also be on sale through CRS Music. So it will be, you know, very vibrant. It's going to be a day of lots of activity.
Very home. Very
Yes, yes, definitely.
Before Katrina jumps in with a question, just some information I'm passing on. There's actually a place in Dominica where they grow food, they grow produce, and they have tourist stores where they go into the garden, pick whatever you want, and you come and you cook it right there. It's actually, so that's a good idea.
It is. Someone actually had the idea of us having a herb garden at the museum. So those are some of the ideas that we're throwing around, but of course all of these require maintenance, and that's one of the key issues, because of course we have a very small staff component, but we do have some volunteers luckily who assist us with various projects. So who knows, maybe someday that will be possible, but this is at least a way to bring other people who are already involved in the culinary arts into a particular setting of the museum and have them give an opportunity for people to learn more.
You know, Christine, from the poster, you can tell that pottery is one of the main focus. I'm curious as to, between the Pottery Day and the Eat, Drink and Be Merry Day, if you have any thoughts to what will go on beyond this. Okay, so I've figured out how pottery is made, and I know that our local flying fish is rather tasty, and I know that I can make wine from gooseberries. What do I do next? If someone is so moved to want to do something beyond what they've learned on the Heritage Day, what do you suggest? What is available in the UNESCO World Heritage Site? I'm very proud to say that. I don't know about you.
Of course.
But I am. What next?
Well, the idea is really for this to whet people's appetites. So the door is open then to do research, because we also have a library at the museum which some people aren't aware of, and you get the opportunity to learn a bit. Then hopefully your appetite will be whet to go through the galleries, learn a bit more. If you want to do some investigation into a particular area, then there is our library as well. And of course, because you have that direct interaction with the artisans, then you can set up whatever opportunities you want to have beyond that. And people very often say that these opportunities for exposure. So even if they don't sell everything that they bring out on the day, very often they make some very useful contacts that continue to be regular clients. So that's going to be a very important component as well.
Well, if these plates in this poster are anything to go by, whoever is making them, I will become a regular client, I think.
I'm sure they actually make egg cups too.
Oh boy, here we go.
So is it the 13th and 27th of July? These are the days that people need to be present for the Heritage Days?
That's correct. And the plates that were referred to, those are from Michelle's Clay Gallery. She will be there. We'll also have Sally Henry, who does nature-painted ceramics. She does decorative tiles, vases, you name it. We also have Highland Pottery, and Gloria Chung will also be there doing some demonstrations. So those are among the really skilled, well-acclaimed, most of them are award-winning as well, artisans that we will have involved. And for Eat, Drink and Be Merry, you can expect everything from your cutters right down to your nut cakes, sugar cakes, gooseberries, etc.
Got my eye on this fish cutter, boy.
I could get my hand on the clay if I come by on the 13th. Is that possible?
You might be able to experiment with some of the techniques and have a chance to not necessarily create a whole item from clay, but at least
Looks
do
easy,
a bit.
but
Exactly, it's not easy, and it's fairly messy as well.
You can visit the workshop for the full experience.
Exactly. But it's going to be in an outdoor setting, so we have to do what's realistically possible within that setting.
Right.
Excellent.
But I think it will be an exciting opportunity for everyone, and we have other activities that are coming up as well during the crop over season. We also have a crop over bus tour on July 22nd, which is a Friday. So people can always call the museum at 427-0201.
427-0201
and get more information on all the activities that are coming up.
Great stuff, Christine.
Good. All right, well, we would like to thank Christine for dropping by this morning, and we will be dropping by the museum the 13th and the 27th, that dates to remember. Check it out. Also, there's a bus ride on the 22nd, so make sure and be a full participant. When we come back, we'll be talking to people from Camp Pride. It's a special camp for children with diabetes. All that and more on Morning Barbados.